Hello everybody, welcome back to a video, and today I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to be building a Lego set, and it is the 4x4 Off-Road Ambulance Rescue. This was a Lego City promo from earlier this year. I just thought it would be a new, interesting style video, and I wanted to get your thoughts on whether or not you liked it or not. Also, I am testing out a new piece of equipment, so some thoughts on that would be helpful as well. So, let's get into building this sucker. So, I haven't seen these before, this kind of instruction manual. I think this is a new one. Don't know why they did it like that, but, yeah, it's a creative change they did. So, let's get into bag one of this sucker. So, I just figured this would be an interesting opportunity to just talk, sort of do a little bit of a behind the scenes thing, maybe come up with a few new interesting ideas for videos. Share a few. So obviously this is a new style that I am trying out here. I really wanted to see if this would work or not, and so I really honestly am very excited to try this out. And speaking of trying out, here is the first figure with a new helmet piece, I believe. So I'm going to put this figure, I'm going to put him right here. Alright, let's build this guy's bike. So, figured I could use this to talk about a few upcoming video ideas, or a few ideas that I think are interesting that I don't know if I'm going to do or not. Comment on those would be good. I'm thinking about doing a video on the Sherlock TV show, which I thought was a very good show. I watched it a few years ago. I do want to go back and watch it again. I just don't know if that would be something you guys would be interested in seeing a video on. I just am not sure. So let me know about that. I was also thinking about reviewing the Robert Downey Jr. Sherlock Holmes movies, because I've watched those and I really do like those, and I want to review them. But is that something you might be interested in watching? I'll honestly, I'll take the feedback if you guys want to see me review the Sherlock Holmes movie or the show. The Sherlock Holmes movies, I thought were very good, by the way, so you'd know that ahead of time. But, I mean, I've seen other Sherlock stuff. I've seen, I think it was the Christopher Lee, The Hounds of the Baskervilles, which was pretty good. And, but I think out of the ones that I haven't gotten to see much of, I think, well, because there isn't really a lot for this one, I thought the Tom Baker Hounds of the Baskervilles was very good. Watched that one recently, and I just loved it. It was incredible. Also, I think it had a different ending than the Christopher Lee interpretation of the story. So, I thought that was a very interesting thing. I've not seen, I haven't read The Hound of the Baskervilles yet, even though I actually do own a collection of Holmes short stories. Actually, a Holmes book. Maybe I'll show that in a later video. But, yeah, I actually don't own, I don't own a lot of Holmes media. There's one thing I've been trying to track down, which is the old Holmes movie starring Ian McKellen. I want to see that, and so I've been trying to track that down, but Amazon's been a dead end. So if you have any ideas on sites that would have it, I haven't checked eBay yet. I probably should check eBay. But honestly, I've got a few ideas for upcoming reviews. Yes, actual review videos. I don't know what the next one is going to be, but I've got a few ideas in mind for it. Yeah, there are a few ideas going in my head for what that's going to be. I'm honestly thinking about reviewing, I think there's this movie called The Great Mouse Detective, and I'm thinking of reviewing that. I think that would be an actually pretty good, review, but I don't know if it's one that you guys would like to see. If it's something you'd be interested in. I thought the movie was pretty good myself, but I'll give thoughts on that when in the actual review. But I mean, I want to make content that I like, but I am curious as to what you guys would think. So, but honestly, I think that really want to do a Scream 7 prediction video. I'm changing the subject completely here. This is a idea I've had in my mind for a while now, because I've seen other people give theirs, and I have a really interesting idea for how the movie would mirror Scream 3 while still being its own thing. And for that mirroring, I will say the opening of the movie, my pitch of it, I'll give that part away and leave the rest of it for that video. And then if you guys want to see how the pitch would end, let me know. But the opening kill would actually be a returning character. That is one thing I think Scream 3 did perfectly, is have Cotton Weary be the movie's opening kill, where he's killed because he refuses to give up the location of Sidney Prescott. But my pitch for the movie would actually see, ironically enough, another Scream 3 survivor, Mark Kincaid, be the opening kill. I think that would be an interesting twist, because it would keep with the whole the movies mirroring the original trilogy, but it would also raise the stakes emotionally for Sidney, because I mean, it's either going to be Kincaid's death or Gale's death that gets her back into this. And honestly, I think Kincaid is the more likely pick for an opening kill. I think people would be upset if they chose to have Gale die as the movie's opening. I mean, it would be an effective twist, as they would kill, one of the franchise's most famous characters to open up 7, which, in my opinion, should be, since the most recent, I'll give you what I think the meta angle of the movie would be. In my head, it would be franchise finales. Because they already did trilogies, and I don't think they'll want to repeat trilogies. They haven't had a repeated meta angle yet, so I think that the best route to go down is going to be franchise finales. I'll just give you the rest of the pitch now. Basically, instead of being in Hollywood, I'd actually have it set as kind of a road trip movie where Ghostface is actually tailing the main characters across the U.S. Although I do like the idea of Ghostface at Christmas time. I love Christmas movies, and so this would actually be really fun to see. So, I mean, genuinely, I think that would be really funny. Scream Christmas movie. And there's actually a few horror Christmas movies out there that they could make fun of. But honestly, I think franchise finales would make more sense. And I think they just go crazy. They just go absolutely crazy with killing off surviving characters. Because you got 9. Because you've got the core 4 of Sam, Tara, Chad, and Mindy. And then you've got Sydney, Gale, Kincaid. That's 7, and then you've got Danny and Kirby as well. So, you've got a lot of survivors. And I feel like the reason why they had so many people left alive at the end of Scream 6, which was a fantastic movie in my opinion. I absolutely loved Scream 6. But I feel like the reason they had so many left alive was so they could have an absolute just gut punch of an ending to this trilogy with the amount of people they're going to kill. Honestly, I think this would take into account the whole army of Ghostface idea. And my pitch for that would actually be, yes, Stu would be the main Ghostface in the movie, and actually the one that killed Kincaid. If you want to retcon it and say that he was responsible for the attack of Gale in Scream 6 and Dewey's death in 5, I'd be okay with that, because honestly, each time I think about them killing Dewey, it just angers me more that it was an 18-year-old girl. Either way, Stu would come back, but what's his motive? Because if you're going to have him building this army of ghost faces, you got to give the dude a motive for doing that in the first place. Which is why I actually think the most meta angle is he wants what Sydney and Gale were talking about in Scream 5 in the car ride. No more Ghostface. I think Stu, still crazy, but honestly has kind of realized what he's done. He's unleashed this terror onto the world And so he decides he's going to get together this group of people who are connected in some way to the different sprees. And just decides and tells them, hey, look, we're going to take out all of the people connected to this. Anyone connected to the legacy of Ghostface must die. That does mean themselves, but that's just kind of implied, is that it's all traces of the murderous legacy of Ghostface must be destroyed. And honestly, with Hollywood loving the idea of giving redemption to bad guys, honestly, I think this would kind of be a way for Scream to tackle that. Because, right, a lot of people want Stu to return as Ghostface. This way, he's kind of on the side of the main characters. He wants the Ghostface legacy to end. He's just going about it in a completely different way. And who I think it would be a few people in this group of Ghostface. And basically, you can have it be anyone you want. Neil Prescott. Why not? He was supposed to be the original red herring, so having him come back for this would actually be a really interesting idea, where ultimately he is Ghostface, and that would be sort of the shocking thing for Sydney, which is her father is Ghostface. But they each have a reason why. They want to end the murderous legacy. You could even have Sydney be one of them, saying that she found Stu, and he told her about his plan, and she likes the plan. It ends the Ghostface legacy. Which, honestly, could actually be what they call the movie in this script. They could call it The Legacy of Ghostface. But, I mean, I just think that would be such a cool idea. Have Stu be revealed to be alive. And then you can do the whole idea of him leading this crazy army of ghost faces. But, he's on the side of the main characters. With that, he wants the same thing. He wants the legacy of Ghostface to end. I think that could be a very interesting idea. And plus, they're gonna have to give Stu a motive, because peer pressure, while great for the first one, isn't gonna work. So honestly, I think the best option to go down would be to have Stu sort of, kinda, learned realized the error of his ways, and realized he unleashed a literal monster onto the world. And so he just decides that he's going to build up a new group of Ghostface, of people connected, and just get rid of everyone that's left. Because that's how you can have Stu return with an interesting motive that's tied directly into the meta angle. Which, they haven't done that a lot, where the meta angle ties into the Ghostface motive. It's tied into their modus operandi, or how they do things, but it hasn't really tied into the meta angle. This could be a way for you to get Ghostface tied to the meta angle for once, by having Stu literally orchestrate a grand finale for the franchise he started with Stu. But, anyway, here is the completed vehicle. Pretty simple, but a really cool build. It uses its simplicity to its own success. So, yeah, overall, really good set, honestly. And that is it for this video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.